Welcome back to another race in the Freshman League. We are in round 3 already. It seems like it's flown by. We are in Austria, and I am joined once again by...
It's Tucson 0208, everyone. Once again, hot off a plane from Russia. I'm back here in Austria for another commentary with my good friend Tiger. Let's hope that this race can be as good as the last two these lot have given us. Yeah, looking forward to this qualifying session. It's going to be a mix of strategies, I think, around this track. Let's see what people go for, as we're just about to load in now.
Off the plane from Russia. You don't actually have to, actually fly, you know? You can just, you just switch lobbies.
No, I fancied a quick ride in Kimi Räikkönen's private jet for a little while. So.
A quick ride in his private jet.
You know, like me and my man Kimi, we're close, innit?
Oh, yeah. Close. He's a heavy drinker, ain't he, Kimi? I can remember he goes to all the parties, didn't he? I remember they were doing that awards ceremony. What was it? It was last year, was it? Or the year before? And he was up on the stage. He was doing some sort of dance moves or something, didn't he? He was proper. He was out of it.
He was proper into it, isn't he?
He had a lot. He did. But back here again, and we have one penalty in this race. We had two yesterday in the Academy League. We have one here for Cryptech. It's got an LLP2, which means you can only come out in the last 5 minutes of this qualifying session. Them cars are very close there coming out of the pit lane, but you can only come out in the last 5 minutes of this qualifying session here.
Yeah, so that is true. So the way the penalties work in this series, for those of you who don't know, there are LLPs, otherwise known as license level points, and they effectively range from 0 to 6. 0 being no action warranted, and ranging up to the LLP 6, which is a championship ban. So obviously Cryptech will be hoping not to get too many more penalties, otherwise he might find himself on a serious back foot when we get to the end of this championship. Either way, we have currently got a lot of cars out on track. We've got Ellison here on the soft tyres, so he's gone straight for the soft strategy. Like I said before, it will be interesting to see what tyres people decide to go for here, as this track is a possible one-stop, but it is quite tricky. You need a lot of tyre management to get the one stop to work, as right now the majority of cars are out on the soft tyre.
And following on from yesterday's race, actually, if anyone tuned into that, the Pope, who had a collision with Mares, actually went into the back of him now, the final few laps. The Pope was given the win after he was falsely given a penalty during the race. So the Pope at the end was given the win. I'm not sure how the rest of the table was sorted out in terms of the rest of the podium, but we know that Pope was given the win yesterday. Just to update everyone on yesterday's race as well.
Yes, and obviously the drivers involved in the crash at the end of the Academy race yesterday, they've come together, they've reconciled their differences. It's all good. We're all a close community here at Gavra Racing.
We're all friends
so,
now.
There's no beef. Alright, and at the moment, Ellison, who's out on the soft tyres, about to come through the middle sector, it's a 45.9 for him. He's currently following the Williams. I can't tell who's on. Oh, it's Barty has gone to pole position for 1:05.9. I think he'll be looking to improve on that lap time, although these may just be banker laps for most of the field.
Definitely, yeah. 1 minute 5.9 isn't the worst lap, as there's a couple of people coming in as Thunder beats him by a tenth, but 1 minute 4.8. Pepperlex setting the time again after last week's race, putting an absolutely insane lap and got pole behind a really unfortunate race. Both Mercedes drivers, actually, Joe and Pepperlex, having a really unfortunate race last week.
Yes, exactly. As Pepperlex, that I'll have to check that again, but that might also be another Gavra Racing lap record.
Pepperlex showing a real pace here in the Gavra Racing Freshman League.
Definitely. He was participating in the Premier Series on Monday, in which I was racing as well, and he led for quite a fair amount of the race before he had some technical issues and unfortunately lost his front wing. But yes, it's a very impressive lap there from Pepelec, clearly getting up to speed very quickly, and that matches the pole time from the Premier Series race, which also happened around the same track in these cars. So that was a very, very impressive stuff there from Pepelec.
Very impressive stuff from him, and we've seen his qualifying pace, but hopefully we'll be able to see a better race overall from him this week. And a few other drivers will be looking for some better results this week. Joe being one of them, hasn't scored any points yet so far. Antilopian got quite high up there actually last week. I think he got a podium, I believe. Did Antilopian get a podium last week? Was it Antilopian?
Yes,
believe
yes,
it was, yes.
He was on the podium. But at the moment, the two championship protagonists, Holland Campion and
Lord Jedi, I think.
Yes, and Lord Jedi, that was it. They currently sit tied first at the top of the standings on 43 points each. They're currently sixth for Holland Campion. He's got some time to find, and Lord Jedi is just about to start a lap, I believe. Or no, he's just about to finish a lap even. As now it's coming towards the end of the lap, down into turn 8, I believe this is. He'll shift down to 6th gear, hook up the apex, back on the power once again near the curb, over the yellow sausage sleeping policeman, back on the DRS, up to the line. Where does he go? At second, 105.6. As still quite a ways off Pepelec, but definitely not a bad lap there from Lord Jedi. Gets him on the front row at the moment.
Hi, hello, sorry. I'm here.
Oh, sorry. Did you mute your mic?
Hello. Yeah, I did. I was just busy quickly doing something, and yeah, I don't know what you said, but I completely agree with everything that you've said. Completely agree.
As Holland Campion has now gone to second place, 1/10 ahead of Lord Jedi.
1/10 ahead, and that's still an absolutely impressive lap from Joe actually just put in a lap time as well, a 1 minute 5.5. He was, I believe, that is 5/1000ths of a second behind Holland Campion. That's very tight between those two.
Yeah, this track does tend to have a nature about it that closes up the field. Obviously, because it's such a short lap, there's the field does tend to be bunched up. I can't exactly explain it too well, but for some reason that's what happens. As we've got Tygat Antelope, and he's also on an out lap at the moment. Although it came up on my screen, he's on a flying lap. Okay.
Ooh, let's have a look at Gabab here, who's on a flying lap at the moment. Hasn't put in a time yet. He's coming around the final few corners here in sector 3. Let's keep an eye on him. He's going to take this high-speed right-hander as he goes down the hill a little bit more. On the grass a little bit. No, he's gone into the pits. He's abandoned his lap. Has abandoned his lap. He's going to be careful coming into the pit lane here, as he doesn't want to speed. Otherwise, he will be picking up some penalties. As
Pepelec is on his second lap now, coming up to the line to start the lap. I mean, looking for the line down into turn 1, expecting to use the curb. He doesn't use all of the track limits there, which is interesting. He's back on the power now, down into the second of the DRS zones here. This track, but now through turn 2, which is a slight kink to the left. Heavy braking now into the hairpin of turn 3. Very nicely done there by Pepelec. Yes, it's a very difficult braking zone, that one. As now he'll be looking to keep the wheel as straight as he possibly can. Coming down now into turn 4, looking to third gear, picks up the apex, short shifts to 4th to minimise the traction there. As now coming down into the fast sweeping left-hander of turn 5, it gets a little bit of understeer mid-corner, back on the curve, uses all of the track limits, down to 5th again, briefly to 4th. It's gone very wide through turn 7 there, as it's coming down to the last 2 corners, 2 high-speed right-handers, down to 6th. He's going to clip the curb, very nicely done, and then the final corner, he's going to clip the curb again. He gets a tap of oversteer there.
I don't think he will improve. Oh no, he does improve by a 10th. He improves by a 10th. Another impressive lap from Pepelec, a 1 minute 4.7, and I believe that is that a Gavra Racing record?
That is, I believe, a Gavra Racing
Another
record.
Gavra Racing record from Pepelec, showing why he should be potentially in higher leagues here in Gavra Racing, and he could potentially, if he gets his race pace sorted, he could potentially become a champion. If he is showing pace like this, getting records all over the place, it could potentially be a very, very good driver here.
Yes, that pace would indicate that he definitely belongs in higher leagues than the freshman series at the moment. As just verifying it now on my trusty iPhone. Oh no, that is actually. No, yes, it is. No, it isn't. It's 1/10 off the absolute lap record here.
So we got a record last week, but he could potentially, if it's only a 10th, so he could potentially get another record here, maybe.
Well, yes, exactly. As obviously with this track, there's not a lot of time. It's hard to find a lot of time around here. But that lap from Pepelec at the end there, it looked a little bit on the edge, so he definitely has some time to find.
Definitely, and Pepelec showing lots of very good pace here. Only 2 drivers at the moment who haven't put in a time. Kebab being one of them, coming around the top section at the track team in Sector 2 in the Ferrari. Let's see what time he can put in here. Cryptek not going to be able to put in a time until 5 minutes. It'll be about another 3 minutes here before he can come out onto the track. So we'll have to wait and see what time he can put in, as he will only have 5 minutes to go. And Mares yesterday had an LLP2 penalty and got first. Qualified first with only 5 minutes of his qualifying session to have. So we'll see if Cryptek could maybe pull out something spectacular like that. But with Pepelec's pace, Kebab goes 7th actually, and 1 minute 5.6. There's a couple of places shifted around there. I think Antilopian moved up a couple of laps, scoring 4th position, and Oriola's up there as well. So a lot of drivers showing some pace. In last week's race winner, Lord Jedi, and down in 6th position here.
Yes, both Racing Points have had a fairly strong start to the season, currently in 6th and 9th as it stands. Antilopen has had a nice turn of pace after the first series. It looked like he struggled a little bit in the Williams, but with a podium last race, he's looking like he's back on the pace again this week. As his teammate Ex-Nati, who I believe bailed on his lap, is currently sat in the pits on the soft tyres. As GSY Bates currently coming through Sector 1, but I think he's backed off that lap already.
Have a look here. I'm not sure if many drivers are on a flying lap at the moment. We'll take a look. I believe I see Barty here on the grass, and he has come into the pits. I see Kebab also comes into the pits here. Joe's on the grass.
Oh, he's had a spin there, I think.
He's spun there, I think.
He needs to be close. He doesn't tap the wall and ruin his front wing. And yeah, he's recovered it.
He's done that quite nicely there, and managed to stay clear of the drivers on the track. And is rejoined, and we'll go for another lap, as there are 6 minutes left in this session.
Yes, there's still quite a long time left in the session, as Brambo Super Fox is on the lap now. He comes up to the first sector, and he's up on his personal best, I believe. It's not the fastest first sector of anyone, but he's a bit late with the DRS now coming onto the back straight down towards turn 4. He's a bit slow on the apex there, but if it works for him, it will work for him even. Oh, it's Ex-Nati's disconnected again.
Disconnected again, and Ex-Nati having some real internet issues. We have suggested actually, Brambo Super Fixer, fastest second sector is what I'm seeing on my screen. So it could be a very good lap here from Brambo Super Fixer. He's coming around the final corner here, down towards the start-finish straight. Will he get a good time here? Let's have a look. And he goes only 7th. 1.5.6, not a bad lap, but I thought it would have been a little bit better with him getting the fastest middle sector out of all the drivers.
But crucially there, that lap of the fastest middle sector proves that I think Brambo has some more pace left in those tyres. If he can come back into the pits and get a fresh pair strapped on, let's see what he can do.
Let's see what he can do. And Pepelec on on an invalid lap here. Not showing as much pace as he was, and we can see here where Pepelec does have to improve here, Tucson, and that is in the middle sector, because he's been beaten by Brambo in that sector. So that's where he could potentially improve on some time and maybe get that lap record.
Well, yes, exactly. As Pepelec showing this turn of pace, I'm sure many of the rest of the field won't be too happy about it, but I'm sure he is very chuffed inside that Mercedes cockpit at the moment.
I'm sure he is. And hi to everyone in the chat. An AB Techers fan in here. Hello, Pierre. You've had can't remember which. You drive in the lead, don't you, Pierre? You were in yesterday as well. Is it Pierre? That's in the Premier Series.
Piero. Yeah, it's
Piero in the
from
Premier
the Super
Series?
League.
Super League.
He's in this. He's fighting for the championship in the Super League, actually.
It's Piero.
Yeah.
Hello. But yeah, you were in the chat yesterday. Welcome back. Kiss LP. Hello as well in the chat. 16 people watching. Thank you very much for joining in to another week in the Freshman League, and we are hoping for another action-packed race like it was in the past 2 weeks here.
Exactly, as the 2 Freshman League races have actually been the most viewed videos recently on the Gavra Racing channel, so that's always nice to see that people will come down and check us out. Yeah, let's hope these guys can give us another good race, as Cryptek is now out on track after serving his penalty, as he's coming up to the first sector now. Let's see what he can do.
Keep an eye on him here, actually, because we'll see what time he puts. He's on an invalid lap.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I didn't see his track map go red for me there.
Unless it's glitched for me, and it does do that sometimes. We'll just have to see whether he puts in a lap time or not. I'll keep an eye on him anyway and see what time he does put in. But the man with an LLP penalty here has come out onto the track now. Whether he has got an invalid lap or not, we will see. To take a look here, as a lot of drivers will be either happy with their times, or they will be coming out now for the final couple of minutes of this session to maybe put out one last flying lap in a hope to move further up the grid here.
Yes, exactly, as currently the majority of the field has gone for the soft tyre approach, which will mean that they will be looking to try and go either to the medium or the hard tyres, though I would expect that if most drivers are on the softs now, they're trying to get to the medium tyres and go to the end. Obviously, what we don't know up here in the commentary box is if it's going to rain before the race, as I have a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2, now just in sector 2, it's a Williams, it was Natty, I believe.
It was ex-Natty, I believe, yes, and quite a lot of people have joined us now, 19 people in. Hello, GSI, hello there. Victor Mouton, I'm really bad at pronouncing things. Yes, thanks to commentators. Yes, thank you. Always here to do our duty, our job, bringing you some glorious commentary. I'm just going to call you Peter, I'm sorry. Says hello, everybody. Yes, we will call you Piero. GSI says Lord Jedi or bust. Lord Jedi fan, I'm guessing. Dimitris, hello.
Oh, has Pepelek's gone very wide?
Pepelek has gone very wide.
Sorry to interrupt, but Pepelek's come off the track at turn 3. Oh,
he was only on his outlap though. Does he have any damage on it? I can't see any damage to his front wing.
I don't believe he has any damage to either of his end plates there, but that will have knocked his confidence a tad before he goes to this final push lap here. As we've got, Victor 90 is in the chat. I believe he's an Academy race winner. You'll have to educate me on that one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Won the last, not this week's race. It was the last week's race he won actually. And Dimitri says hello everyone. Hello Dimitri's. Got Holland Campion fan. Peter is a Holland Campion fan, so go Holland Campion in the Red Bull. Any other newbie? There's a Cryptek fan in here. Vinay is a Cryptek fan. Cryptek put a 1 minute 6.4 after he did have his penalties, so we'll have to see if he can improve on that time. And nearly every driver here is out on the track, so we will see what times they put in here.
Sorry, as Pepelek is less than a tenth down on his pole time through the first sector. Obviously, through the second sector, so he lost most of his time on his pole run. And now coming through the middle sector, he's going to be coming down to turns 5 and 6. Let's see if he's gained or lost any more time. He's about to come across the split now. He's 4 tenths down.
4 tenths down on his time. So I don't think Pepelek will be improving on that. An amazing time that he has put in this qualifying session.
as it's not over for Holland Campion. He is a 10th down through the middle sector. He can still make this back if he pushes hard now in the final sector. Coming down now into the final three swooping right-handers of 8 and 9, down to 4th gear for the final corner. He's going to charge to the line, and the Red Bull's got a bit wide.
I think he got an invalid lap there as he came around the final corner. Joe improved, but only slightly, only by 0.06 of a second, so he doesn't improve in the Mercedes. Thunder here has come around the final corner. Will he be able to? I don't think he's going to improve on his time. No. So that's all the drivers have now completed all of their laps, and there is today's starting grid here in Austria.
Yes, this thing's got a bit sparsely populated between second and first, but if we look from second all the way down to 13th position, they are all in the same second. And that tells you the competitiveness of this field, I think.
I think Cryptek actually moved up there at the end. I didn't quite catch it, but Cryptek, after he had his LLP2, moved up, I think it was into the lower part of the higher lower part there of the grid. Yes, 13th position he moved into at the end of that qualifying session.
Yes, and to quickly run you through the order, so Pepelec is on pole, 5/10 to Holland Campion in second, the championship leader. Antelopen in third, another strong showing from the Williams driver. Oriole in fourth, Thunder 50-50 in fifth, Lord Jedi sixth, Ex-Natty seventh, Joe eighth, Brambo 9th, Kebab 10th, Tim 11th, Barty is in 12th, Cryptek 13th, GSY Bates in 14th, AB Tech is 15th, Ellison 89th and 16th for the Renault, and Dirty Larry rounds out the grid in 17th position, and I got it before the timer went down.
You did, well done, well done. We've got some more people commenting in the chat.
As we've got Ex-Natty in the chat who says, I messed up. Well, I mean, you're still in that gap from second to 13th. Yeah.
That wasn't not a bad lap. Ex-Natty is back.
As Thunder 50-50 has confirmed that there's going to be no rain during the race. So just a quick update for everyone in the chat on the strategies here. To make a one-stop work, and trust me, I speak from personal experience, you have to get to lap 14, which is a push for the soft runners at the start of the race, because also they're going to be attacking. They also have to think about the long game. So lap 1 might be quite explosive, but I would expect something of a lull, but I'm sure these drivers are about to prove me wrong, as we're about to get going for the formation lap.
And I'm just gonna put out a very funny comment there from Ex-Natty that says the Williams is faster than my wife. I love that comment. Love that. That's amazing.
That is great. That is brilliant.
Dimitri says, if someone want, I've already got this PC. Okay, so he's on about the new F1 2020 on PC.
Oh, okay. So the beta testing, I think, is open, but only for PC players.
Beta testing, so we'll have to. Anyone's interested? Contact Dimitri. I'm sure he'll hit you up with some. Vinay says pre-ordered F1 2020 already.
Well, we hope to see you in Gavra Racing once we get those leagues sorted out.
We will have to get those leagues sorted out, and I should hopefully be here. Yeah.
Oh, no excuse now.
I know. I've got to be now. I'm doing everything now. So I've put myself in the. I'm gonna have to be here. And I will be, guys. I will not be leaving.
That's obviously Tiger, who runs the Gavra Racing Instagram and Twitter pages.
So go follow the Instagram and Twitter pages.
Exactly. So please, if you have a spare moment, please take a minute. Oh, someone's gone off the track. I'm going to interrupt my own plug there.
I think it was has gone off the track. Tekers and the Haas has gone off there, but he has rejoined the back of the formation.
Now the drivers are gridding up for the start. Pepelec on pole, obviously. I'll let you take the start this time, Tiger.
It looked like an enlarged snake. It was quite weird as they were all weaving, like synchronized. It was really cool actually. They were all synchronized weaving as they were trying to heat the tires up, and it was what you would call in formation, really, but ready to
in unison.
Yes.
Let's go racing.
Let's go racing. Let's make sure everything is enabled. As the timer counts down, round 3 here in Freshman League. 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2, 1, 0. 3, 2 And it's lights out and away we go, and it's not a bad start from Pepelec. There's cars moving all over the grid. I can't really keep up. There's someone trying to make a move, and it's the Williams on
there's a
the Red
crash.
Bull. There's a crash at the back. I'm not sure who that was. I think it was Tim. It's Tim, the Academy League champion, has moved all the way down as he's had an incident at the back there. Let's keep an eye up top, and there's a couple of drivers going down the inside. Antelope going down the inside. He's dived down the inside, but Holland Campion, the leader at the moment of the championship, is taking the lead, and he's being attacked now by Lord Jedi from behind. He's going to go down the inside. Let's see if he makes the move. Is he going to take him down the inside? They're leaving enough room, and he got the pass on Holland Campion, and leaders are changing all over the place as Holland Campion's in second. Antelope moving up into fourth. Another bad start here from the who qualified first. The leader that was the leader, Pepelec, is all the way down in fourth.
Natty and Oriole going wheel to wheel through turn 6. Natty's going to be on the outside. Can he make a move? It's coming down now to the fast right-handers. Oriole has the inside line.
Oriole got the pass, and Antelope got around Holland Campion as well. Oh, and Pepelec goes down the inside of Holland Campion, and Holland Campion's moving down the grid, and he got overtaken twice there from Antelopian and Pepelec here, and moves all the way down here. And Cryptek has come into the pits. He may have had a little bit of damage.
Oh, it's GSY Bates has lost it. GSY Bates has lost it at turn 1.
Bates and the McLaren has lost it. And he will be joining. Yes, he will be joining.
Cryptek is in the pits for a new front wing.
He must have had a collision. Maybe it was with Timf there. It was Otley on the next night having a battle, and Timf has taken AB Techers, but AB Techers got the pass back there.
As Nat's going to look for the double overtake down the inside. He's going to look for it. He doesn't get the room from Oriole.
Joe's trying to find his way around the outside here.
Ex-Natty with a double overtake there on the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo as Kebab and Joe go side by side.
I believe Joe will get the pass as he does get around Kebab after that corner, and there's battles going on all over the place here.
Oh, and that what an amazing opening sequence of laps that was, but it's not over yet. It's a top 4, all covered by less than 2 seconds now. Look at those fastest lap times tumble. As Pepelec holds it at the moment, he is all over the back of Tiger.
DRS is now enabled. DRS is now
we're going to see
enabled.
some overtakes, as I believe Pepelec will be a bit hacked off with Antelopen's move there into the hairpin. Can he pay him back now? Under braking for turn 3.
I don't think he'll have the pass. No, he won't. But Thunder's got around.
He's very close.
Thunder's got around Kebab here. And Brambo's got down the inside of Thunder, and Kebab's moved all the way down, and I think now Thunder managed to get the pass on both drivers, the Ferrari and the Toro Rosso there.
It's Thunder 50-50, showing why he is a championship contender
Kebab
in this series. As Kebab goes down the inside.
He's gone down the inside of, I think it was Brambo there in the Toro Rosso, and he's now looking to see if he can get a pass here on Thunder.
Yes, that almost turned into a double overtake move there for the Ferrari driver. He didn't really have much choice after he committed to that dive bomb. As now we've got Antelope and all over the back of Lord Jedi. These top 3 are inseparable. As we've got Holland Campion over a second behind in 3rd position with Ex-Natty just behind him. Pepelec, there's another fastest lap of the race.
And Brambo
he is
Superfixer
attacking.
battling again, and Barty's now getting involved in the action. He's going to try and take Brambo Superfixer, and he's going to try and look for an outside line, but there's contact! There was contact between the Toro Rosso, and I think Brambo's gone. Yes, Brambo spun out. There was contact between, I think it was Kebab and Brambo there. And both, I think Brambo went into the back of Kebab as he was being attacked by Barty, and has moved all the way down into 13th position now.
As I've just got my camera on the leaders at the moment, I can't take my my personal POV off this one because these 3 are so close at the moment. Remember, everyone, they have to look after their tyres. They've got about 10 more laps of this stint left, barring any safety cars, obviously. We haven't had any so far, but Pepelec all over the back of a Williams now. And he needs to get past this Williams, and he's gone a bit wide there into turn 7.
They also have to be careful, though, Toussaint, of time penalties here. They do not want to be picking up any time penalties with the grid being this close together. With this being this close together, Dirty Larry does pick one up at 3 seconds, But they want to be careful here because with the grid being so close, they'll move down many places here, even with a 3-second time penalty, which Kebab also picked one up as well.
X-Natty's going for a move down the inside of Holland Campion, the championship leader, and he gets the move done, and he sets the fastest lap of the race now. Sorry for the voice crack, well, it's a bit too much passion here, and he's still got the DRS open down into turn 3 now. He covers the inside line, Holland Campion looks for the outside, X-Natty blocks it off.
And apparently, GSI believes that Lord Jedi may possibly be the leader, unless that's wrong. Unless they're on the same, they might be on the same points. Apparently, I'm not too sure.
Yes, that is very observant there from GSI. Lord Jedi and Holland Campion are on the same points at the moment. So if it were to finish like this, Lord Jedi would have quite a considerable lead in the championship, considering that we only have 8 rounds obviously in this championship, as with 5 left to go he would have quite a sizable lead at the moment.
Joe spun, he's gone into the wall. An unfortunate event there for Joe once again, and he's spun and gone into the wall, and he has lost wing damage. It was just a large amount of oversteer there, coming in towards the 3rd sector, and he's all the way down in 16th place, and I believe he will now go for a pit stop and maybe potentially go into a set of hard tyres and go
as
towards the end of this race. Pepperleck getting
Antelope, they bang wheels again, they're going to go side by side up to the kink of turn 2 now.
Antelope will try and look to the inside because he's got the DRS and he's got the inside line.
Off the inside.
And
Pepperleck now on the charge, sorry, and we both just over each other there as he has to get
Tim Kebab, going wheel to wheel here. Both Ferrari drivers again battling out like they did last week. And it's like Kebab's looking for a pass down the inside of Tim here, who's got DRS. Will he make the move? And he gets the move done and moves up into 7th position here.
Very nicely done there from Kebab, but Tim's coming back at him now. He's got the inside line. Can he make this work? He does make it work. Down into turn 5, I believe that is, and he's got past his teammate. It's X-Natty's disconnected again.
X-Natty has disconnected again, so we will have to see whether X-Natty can join back or not. And he was all the way up in 5th position there. X-Natty showing pace, but his internet not showing as much pace as he hoped he would. But he has joined back, and Oriol actually takes his car, and X-Natty will hopefully just be able to jump back into his car and carry on racing, hopefully.
Yes, as I believe AD Tech has went off in the middle sector there, brought out the yellow flags briefly.
Kebab, going wheel to wheel. Is there also being attacked by Ellison and the Renault behind? The Renault driver's not. There's only one of them in this race, and the Renault team not doing as good as Ellison's trying to find an outside line, and Ellison takes a very wide line around the outside. May have to give that position back. It's he exceeded track limits and overtook at the same time. There's this wheel to wheel here as the Brembo Superfixer goes down the inside of both of them as Kebab fights back, and Kebab gets the place back again from Brembo Superfixer, and Ellison gets the take on Superfixer as they go wheel to wheel, but there's a bit of ghosting there. I think there's a bit of lag going on, which is why that's happened, and Ellison gets the position back and moves up into the top 10 here.
There's contact, the McLaren is round!
The McLaren is round! The McLaren of Barty is spun. And that is the McLaren of Barty, and he's gone straight into the wall, and he's got heavy wing damage here, and he's going to try and have to rejoin the track safely.
He needs to be careful he doesn't get disqualified
the grass here. I believe he has done, and that is very bad front left wing damage there for
Pepperleck has put a move on Lord Jedi for the lead, but Lord Jedi has gone off the track and he's kept it.
There. He's kept 1st position, but it was close. The next night, he went down the inside of Oriol there at the top corner and has got the position. It is up into 4th place. And Pepperleck got the move down the inside of Lord Jedi, and he's taken the lead. Very nice pass there from the Mercedes of Pepperleck, showing brilliant pace here this week in the race.
As these first 8 laps have flown by completely, as Ellison picks up a 3-second time penalty, as and he's had another instant there in the middle sector, I believe. But I think going back to the instant with Thunder there, I think he might be quite angry about that one. It looks like he just got
they're going wheel to wheel. He was pushed off the track a little bit there. Maybe that'll be looked at by the stewards. He was pushed off the track a little bit, and Pepperleck will have DRS going into this very difficult first corner here. Very tight angle, and he does get the pass, but he runs wide. And now Lord Jedi they touch a little bit.
Wheels.
Wheel to wheel here. Let's see, but Lord Jedi has DRS, and he will keep the position, I believe, as they go up into the top corner here. And yes, Lord Jedi will retain the lead for the moment here. But a little bit of pushing and shoving off and on the track.
Safety car, Ellison is out.
It's Ellison. So now we may see quite a few cars come into the pit lane here, as Dirty Larry is the first person to pit under this safety car. And I'm not sure what happened to Ellison there, but we do now have a safety car on track.
As Dirty Larry goes to the hard tyres, will we see anyone else to follow him in? At this stage, it will be interesting to see if our leaders do pit and commit to trying to get to the end on the hard tyre. As at the moment,
Joe has come back in the pits again for another stop onto another fresh set of medium tyres. So he's coming had a stop for the wing damage where he spun out here. And he's also
the leaders go side by side into the pits. Pepperleck's overtaking Lord Jedi under the safety car.
Under the safety car, but in the pit lane. I don't believe that's allowed. That's very interesting there from Pepperleck, but there was pushing and shoving from Lord Jedi as well, off and on the track. So it could potentially balance out maybe
Lord Jedi has gone to the hard tyres as well.
Lord Jedi and
he's gone out ahead of the Mercedes.
So Pepperleck out in front of Lord Jedi out in front of Pepperleck. So interesting there in terms of stops and strategies, as both drivers going onto the hard tyre to try and look for a long finish here.
As I'm not sure if Gavra will have a look at that, and obviously it seemed to rectify itself there with the Racing Point being overtaken in the pit entry, but getting out on the pit stops. Yes, it's a interesting one, although I suppose we are about to get a restart, so there's not much point in
I believe, yeah, we'll have to wait until all the drivers come round and restart here. We'll have to see whether it's have to see what happens during the restart, as we wait for all the drivers now to come round and rejoin the back of the pack.
As this has re-energized the races of Joe and Barty,
Kebab,
both had there.
For some reason, the only person not to pit at the moment. Whether he will pit, will the safety car be coming? The safety car doesn't come in this lap, so he may potentially come into the pits now. Or
I don't think Kebab could pit there, because obviously he is Tim's teammate, and Tim was ahead of him on track. So I don't think Kebab could have come into the pits even if he wanted to.
Potentially not, actually, so we'll have to see whether...
As he may dive in now and try and get the front wing fixed, so I would have advised against that, and he does stay out. I think that was the smarter... Oh no, he has come into the pits! So he must be looking to get rid of that front wing damage. He has... Oh, and he's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding!
That's unfortunate. That happens to the best of us, really, in the pit lane. You can always think you're going slower than you are, and then you just boom into the pit lane, and...
Oh no, as the safety car's going very slow here, he might have another bug. Hopefully we'll pick up the pace soon, but if it doesn't, Kebab's going to come out in the lead. Kebab's come out back in the lead of the race.
A 3-second time penalty. Someone's launched off there. I'm not sure who that was. Who was it? It was Barty. Barty, I think, unlapped himself. And he was disqualified from the session for ignoring a yellow flag, and something has gone very wrong here. Joe's come back into the pits again. I'm not sure why he's done that.
Kebab and Barty are now both in the lead of the... Well, Kebab's in the lead, but he's way ahead of the safety car.
There's collisions here going on all over the place, because there's drivers unlapping and lapping themselves.
They have to go past the safety car. They have to go past the safety car. The green light's on, guys. You've got to go.
They need to be careful here. I'm not sure what's happened here. There is a big collision.
They need to go past the safety car.
This has gone horribly wrong. No, it's not letting them. It's not letting them. We may have to have a race. We may have to have a race restart.
And drivers are getting disqualified now.
We're going to have a race restart.
Restart, yeah.
We're sorry about this, guys. We will have to just quickly, we'll get in touch with Gavra and we will have a race restart. So the game has bugged out here and we will have to have a race restart.
As yeah, we've got a bunch of drivers being disqualified here. I think it's the only sensible option now.
I'm not sure whether are we able to put drivers back into their positions of where they qualified.
Yes, we are. We are able to make a custom grid, so we'll
we will make a custom grid, and then we'll get back to you. So we will. Should we stay on stream?
I mean, why not? We can engage with the chat a little bit.
Will
you can throw us some ideas if you like, and we can have a quick chat.
We'll have a quick Q&A. Have a quick Q&A.
Yeah, a quick Q&A.
while we have a race restart, and the safety car's got back up to speed, I believe. It has. But we're going to have a race restart because we're now only down to 7 drivers.
As people are starting to leave the session, so yeah, we'll the stream might be a bit blank for. Oh, what has happened? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's got horrible. We are sorry about this, guys, but we will have to have a race restart. So this stream will go on for a bit longer than it has, but I'm sure you guys will be. It'll be another fun racing here, and it'll give the drivers a chance to recuperate and acknowledge how they're going to take around this second restart, and maybe do things differently to how they did in the first race.
Well, yes, obviously. So, obviously that is... Well, I talk about the safety car being the ultimate reset button. This is the ultimate reset button. Any previous sins have been washed away, as we're going to be able to go back racing again. I'm sure Joe will be happy about that one, because...
Joe will be happy. He had a time penalties and he had a spin out as well, so for some drivers this will be a very, very good opportunity to undo the problems that they had in that first race.
Yes, exactly. As I'm just looking in the chat for any possible questions. I mean, it's open to anyone, so I think it's easier to just keep the stream going than knock it down and start a new one. So, yeah, any questions that you might have in the chat for either me or Tiger, just put them in and we'll try and answer them best we can. Whether it's about how do you sign up for the academy, or, I mean, I'm not going to get too personal, but yeah. Yeah, just waiting now for the new lobby to be created at the moment.
Yeah, we will make a custom grid, and we will get back into racing as soon as possible.
I think one shoot two down wants you to do a time trial lap around Austria. I think Tiger, you want to get on that?
He wants me to do a time trial lap. Right, let's. Okay.
I mean, you could.
I will. Give me a second. Time trial lap. Oh god, everyone's going to be watching me play F1 now. I don't like this.
As GSI know, there will not be another qualifying. We'll use the custom grid to put the drivers back in their original qualifying positions. As Peter, it's not the fault of the drivers there. It's not the
fault of anyone, really. It's the game.
It's the game.
It's completely the game's fault.
Just a small bug
there. And Gavra is apologising to me, but he really doesn't need to, because honestly, it isn't his fault, it's no one's fault, it is the game's fault. Codemasters, it's your fault. Blame them, their fault, having a glitchy safety car. And hopefully it won't happen again if we do have a safety car. I'm not really sure how it happened or why it happened. I'm not really a game coding expert.
I think all we need to know is that there was a bug.
We will have to... okay. I don't have a setup for this track.
I can lend you one if you want.
Yeah, quickly lend me a setup if you can.
Alright. If you go to the time trial and then go to the leaderboards, go to friends leaderboard, and I should be on there. And then you can borrow my setup. The middle one, Tiger.
Load setup, got it.
No, wait, go out. Of that, go to the one that just has the clock on it. Yeah, that one. I should be there somewhere.
I've done that, yeah, and then I went load setup,
okay.
Did that.
Alright.
Overwrite
you can set me as a
setup.
ghost as well if you want.
And then, there we go. Here we go. This is interesting.
As Pierre in the chat has informed us that when the leader is not the first car behind the safety car, it creates a big chaos because the safety car stops on track. As Tiger now is coming round to his first lap on the time trial. Let's see how he does, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's a nice line there through the first corner.
Hit the
I'm not
curb
sure
a
how
little
many
bit.
of your assists you have turned on.
I don't. I play manual gear.
Yeah, on the pad.
Yeah, on the controller. I play manual gear on the controller.
Oh, as I think the new lobby is just about to be created, but we can still complete this lap. As I will look in the comments for any more questions of anybody. Thunder 50-50, there will not be another qualifying. We will do a custom grid and get the race started from there with all of you drivers in the positions in which you qualified in. I also think people are calling for you to do it with no setup, I think, Tiger.
I mean, a 1 minute 5.8. I mean, that's really not. That's not the best. I admit.
As a Pierre at the moment,
I got 15,000 from one on the leaderboard. I got 15,000 from one of them. It's not my strongest track, I'll give you that. I hate the first two corners.
Well, at the moment, that time would put you somewhere on the freshman league grid. I think it would probably be about like what, 7th or 8th, if I remember.
Possibly. Yeah. I have a better race pace than qualifying pace.
I think you should have had an invite now. Tiger, maybe. I'm not sure.
I do. I now have an invite, so I will join that.
Piero, as far as we know, we are going to repeat the 50% race. Yes. That's like shoot you down. It's just mocking the commentators there. Don't worry. Shall we talk about your time trial time compared to mine? One shoot. Coming down and defend my friend there.
Commentator did turn racer for a second. Just as some racing. We wanted some racing in there.
As GSI has said, I believe we were going to set the weather to clear, as the race conditions were due to be clear for the whole race. Okay. So the weather will not be reset, no.
No, the weather will not be reset. There will be no qualifying. We will just be starting from the beginning, unfortunately. It's basically a red flag, let's say. It's a red flag race. And we're going to restart the race. Let me just go on spectator. And we should hopefully be able to start once everyone is back in who was there.
I believe we're waiting on... Oh, no, I think we have everyone here. We should be, we're going to go back racing soon, everyone. One shoot said, thank you for entertaining us. That's what we're here for, One Shoot. Glad we could provide you some entertainment late this Thursday night whilst we're all in quarantine.
It is a bit late, actually. Here it's 9:20 in England, so...
Oh, yeah. As we're about to get back to racing again, as... so we've had the custom grid made, weather has been set to clear, so we will not be redoing qualifying, the weather will stay the same throughout, and let's get back to Austria.
Let's get back to racing.
As GSI, if you want to start commentating on your own races, all you have to do is go into the Discord server, ask Gavra, I'm sure he'll be all too happy to admit you to the commentators lounge, and then you can start commentating on some races. Just looking for any more questions in the chat. As that's what I did at GSI anyway. Well, there's a post open on the freshman league, and I said I'd do it because why not drive and commentate at the same time?
I think you can also, if you go onto the Gavra Racing website, there's actually a section on the homepage where you can scroll down. You can go become a commentator. I believe if you go there, you might be able to fill in some stuff. Gavra will get it, and he'll sort it out for you. I don't know if that still works. I know it is on there.
Yes, I believe you can sign up to be a commentator from the website as well. So that's another way you can do it, GSI. And he asking where are we from? We are both from the UK.
I'm from the northeast of England.
And I am from the south, i.e. the better part.
Oh wow!
I just get that in there.
Wow, that's low. That wow, the better part. Whereabouts in the better part?
London, where we have all the jobs, mate.
You.
For anyone who doesn't live in the UK, everyone who doesn't live in London hates everyone who does live in London. So there you go.
Actually, I have family in London, so I can't really hate. I can't hate.
All
And
right,
actually,
there we
almost
go.
my dad is from London as well, so.
Oh, okay, so you still got some southern blood.
So I've got southern blood in me, but I'm a northerner. I count myself as a northerner.
As we are back underway for the formation lap once again. Yeah, I agree with you, Pierre. A lot of people will be scared if the safety car comes out again. Let's hope we don't get another glitch.
Let's hope we don't. I'll tell you
yeah.
something. Oh, why are they slamming into each other?
What has happened there? As they've both been removed from those are two leaders. Was that Thunder and yes,
it
was Lord Jedi.
It was Pepperleck and was
Lord
it Lord
Jedi?
Jedi? Sorry, and who else was it?
Yes, it was Lord Jedi because Lord Jedi has been removed from the.
I can't see who that other car is. It's Pepperleck. It's Lord Jedi and Pepperleck.
So the two leaders of
that. That is interesting.
Is that a bit?
We will move by that as swiftly as possible and ignore that happen.
Yes, that didn't happen. You saw nothing, everyone in the chat.
I was just about to say before I was stunned into silence, and now I can't speak. Holland Campion will be looking for a better start this time, as he was overtaken multiple times on those first opening laps of the race. So he, in this restart, will be looking for a much better start than he did in the restart. And so will the likes of Joe, Kebab, Tim, Cryptech. Who else crashed out there in the first couple of laps? Brambo had some incidents. Barty, both McLarens actually had an incident. Bates and Barty, I believe, both had incidents. And we are going to go again. It is, once again, I can't see the podium. That's better.
As we're going to go to 5 red lights here in Austria for the restart. 4 on, 5, and we're
lights
going racing once again. And Pepperleck's on a bad
start this time, and he's being overtaken by everyone. And Holland Campion gets a much better start, but he runs wide. And now he is dropped all the way down into.
Oh, it's the Toro Rosso's been pincered by the Racing Point. There's a big crash in the background there.
Big crash at the back. I'm not sure that was between. Lord Jedi is all the way at the back. So he has had an appalling start after that controversial Sebastian Vettel-Lewis Hammond sort of incident there. And he's colliding. He's been sandwiched. He's had a Toro Rosso Alfa Romeo sandwich there. And he's come out of it at the back of that. And he's going to try and find his way between Dirty Larry and Barty.
As ex-Natty's put a move on his teammate for 3rd, he's back up into the podium positions.
Excellent. Let's hope his internet will not fail on him, as he's going to be attacking Oriole. Yes, he will. And Joe, another person, he's moved up 2 positions there. He took advantage, but he is being attacked from behind from the Racing Point of Thunder, who got very close to him there. A late break in there from Thunder. Good reactions in the Racing Point.
Oh, so Mercedes goes off the track. It's Pepperleck.
He's Pepperleck, and he's had
He's going to be a sitting duck for the 2 cars behind. They're going to go 3 wide.
He's
been hit by the Ferrari. By Kebab, and Kebab's gone round. He's been hit by the Toro Rosso. Safety car is out.
The Toro Rosso and a safety car, and now all the drivers will be very scared here, as we do not want to have another incident, or we could maybe potentially not have a race here at all.
As Pepperleck has left the session.
So Pepperleck has left the session. He has had an appalling restart, and he has now left the session, and he will be very annoyed at the safety car glitch. And I assume that quite a lot of these, there will be mix of feelings across the grid here, as there will be drivers who were doing well in that last race, who think they deserve to be still up there, will be annoyed that they've had a worse start here, and drivers who had a worse start last race who have done better will have big smiley faces on that they have had that big safety car restart. So it is going to be interesting here, and the safety car has stopped. I think he's going to wait for the leader to come round and join the back of the safety car.
Well, that was interesting, to say the least. Well, as I've said, this series does not fail to deliver in terms of drama, certainly. Like, obviously we've had just looking in the chat again now since you have a chance.
I like Piero's comment. Didn't know how you did commentating for the first lap. So much action. It's called fast talking, sometimes mix of slurred / not even words. slash just look at whichever cars are getting close to each other and making contact.
I think David Croft might be the only person who can out-rap Eminem in terms of speed. So
definitely, and all the drivers are coming up towards the back of the safety car. The safety car is moving at a normal speed, thankfully. So I don't want to jinx us, but we're alright at the moment.
I believe as long as Holland Campion doesn't come into the pits, we should be okay. As RSN Kaya has said hi in the chat. Hello! I mean, I'm not going to lie, but you have missed a lot of action so far. You have missed a lot here. RSN Kaya, go back to the start of the stream, go and see the intro, go and see everything, go and look at the race, because we had a climactic race, safety car glitched, and here we are now in a restart where a little bit of mix of emotions have come into play in terms of drivers maybe not containing it. Lord Jedi and whoever else had a collision with him. I think it was Pepperleck. No, it wasn't Lord Jedi, sorry. It was Pepperleck and... who was it? And it was Lord Jedi and Pepperleck. I believe Lord Jedi might have gone into Pepperleck on purpose, but I don't want to accuse anyone of anything, obviously.
That will be looked at by the stewards, and we will find out next week what happens. But mix of emotions around the grid between drivers who've done better and worse in these restarts, and there is a bit of overtaking under a safety car, and there's a bit of lag going on here, so people really need to fix their internet.
I believe that's just lag, I think. It's quite a lot of lag now, actually.
Something needs to be restored here in terms of... Gavra's...
Xnati's left the session again, he's lagged out.
So I believe we will have a new host. That doesn't really affect the race at all. We are waiting, I believe, for the final driver, which is Brambo Super Fixer, to come round and join the back of the grid, and we should be able to get on for another restart.
Hopefully we can get Lord Pepperleck back in the session before... before we go back racing again, unless he possibly rage
has
quit.
Joined back. He may have rage quit. I'm sure Gavra and his team will look at what has happened here, and points will be given out fairly and equally, and penalties will be given in due course wherever needed. But that is all under control.
As we haven't got the message that the safety cars will be in this lap yet. Oh, safety car in this lap. We're going back to green flag racing.
So we're back to green flag. Green flag is contact. They need to be careful here. These drivers really need to seriously be careful here.
Xnati was lucky there not to cause damage to his car or Orioles. That may have been lag.
May have possibly been lag.
As well, Holland Campion decide to go. He's the de facto safety car now, coming down to the final two corners. He's gone now, I believe. Yes, he has gone now. So we're back to green flag racing once more. As Oriole has stayed with him here.
We go.
Can he make a move into turn one?
A better start than he had in last race. And same with Holland Campion.
Xnati goes down the inside.
And it's clean from both drivers. There's a couple of people going wide. Joe went wide there. And he's attacking on the back of the two Williams who are close to each other. The two Williams drivers. You don't really usually see them this high up the grid.
On the outside into turn 3. Can he make it work? Is he going to get Verstappen?
Room. It was enough room there, actually, giving each other enough room. Very clean racing there, the cleanest racing we've probably seen of tonight, really, and it was very clean from both drivers, and Xnati up into second position here.
Place. So a very good restart from Xnati. He'll be happy that we got the whole race restart done there.
A few of the drivers will be happy. What makes up this will be in the championship if Holland Campion finishes first, because Lord Jedi
out the points.
Out in the 15th with no points. Pepperleck also put in the fastest time in a brilliant time in qualifying, 1/10 off the record, and may have possibly rage quit. So a mix up here in the championship table. As a few drivers go fastest lap. Tim actually goes fastest.
As he's all over Holland Campion, Xnati makes a move for the lead, and he's got it done.
Now can he keep the pace? And he doesn't want to have the kind of pace his internet has. He wants to have a good pace, and Joe's retired. Joe is out. Both Mercedes are out. So another unfortunate turn of events again for the Mercedes team, as Joe is out. And I can imagine there will be a range of emotions across this whole grid here. I'm not sure whether there was an incident. I'm sure we will find out what happened.
He may have, from that angle, it looks like he might have dropped it himself out of turn.
He could have.
Out of turn 1 there. That was hugely unfortunate for the Mercedes driver. The Mercedes team now have, well, at the moment, no drivers left in this race.
So we do have a virtual safety car. We will have to see what happens.
As the
green flag racing.
Safety car is in, and
green flag racing again. And X90, the leader at the moment. Will he get his first points of the season after having so many internet issues? Let's see if he can do it. Yes, Natty is on fire. What happened to Lord Jenner? I'm not too sure. I do feel sorry for Pepperleg and Lord Jenner. The restart really didn't help them at all. Quite a few of these drivers, the restart did not help them.
As now the DRS has been enabled, and we've got the top 6 cars there, all line astern, up into turn 3 now. Can anyone go for a dive anywhere? As Tim now is on the back of this pack, so Tim will definitely be in favour of the safety car of the complete restart there, because he's now back up into 6th place, back on form for the Academy League champion. As Kebab has already retired from the race, obviously, so no more battles with his teammate. Unfortunately for us up here in the commentary box,
Bates got it down the inside of Cryptek, and Cryptek got quite a few places here. Let's have a look, see the position changes here. Yeah, Cryptek up 5 places. Ellison and Bates a full 7 places. Next Natty 6 places moved up into 1st position here. Make sure everyone at the end of the day, I forgot to do this yesterday, puts out their driver of the day at the end of the race. And we will just put out your votes, and we will give the driver of the day whoever has the most votes in the comments.
As what X-Natty needs to focus on doing now is breaking the DRS to the car behind, so i.e. Holland Campion. As at the moment he leads by less than a second even. As I come up to turn 3 once more, no one's close enough to have. Oh, as we have looking at Antelope now. As Tim has got past Thunder for 5th.
Tim gone past Thunder, the Academy League champion moving his way up. Because Antelope's going to fight back as they go wheel to wheel down the top part of this track. Well, Antelope can get the pass.
Thunder on the inside.
Oh, and he gets the pass. Sorry, it was Thunder that I was meant. I was saying Antelopian, but it was Thunder actually who was attacking.
As Antelope's actually looking at the back of Oriole here. Could we see 2 Williams on the podium? Could we see 2 Williams on the podium?
Will 2 Williams on the podium? We have not seen that since Valtteri Bottas and Felipe Massa were both in the Williams cars. I believe was the last time we even saw a Williams on the podium in general. So we'll have to see whether these drivers there was a bit of oversteer from Thunder, and that has allowed Tim to get even closer to him as Holland Campion puts in the fastest time, and this restart has really helped that man out for the championship.
As Holland Campion is now charging up to the back of X-Natty, he needs to watch his rear view mirrors here.
Thunder
as Tim has got a 3-second time penalty.
Thunder and Tim both 3-second time penalties to both drivers.
As Antelope is looking to the outside of Oriole into turn 3. Can he get the driver on the outside? He swoops into the apex. He's gone off the track. He's gone wide.
I believe he was already past the
no, but Oriole comes back in now with the DRS.
Oriole's got the DRS and he's going to go past him here. He's going to take it down the inside. Can he get the pass? And he does so. I believe Oriole got the pass down, so Oriole has taken that position back. But now Antelope's going to try and fight back, but nobody backs off. Backs off here. Wow.
As Antelope still all over the back of Oriole here. As we come into the final sector once again. As he'll be looking. Is he going to try and make a move to the inside? No.
He backs off.
That was very clever. That was very clever.
Very smart racing there for Antelope. He knew that angle was tight through that corner and he just backed off.
As now he's going to have the DRS though. Once again he pulls to the inside. They bang wheels. As Oriole tries to put the squeeze on Antelope and into turn 1. Late on the brakes. He gets the move done.
Both Williams showing pace here, and no, Lord Oriole's going to get it back. It's 1-2, 1-2, backwards and forwards here between these two drivers. Can Oriole get the pass?
In the background, looking to the outside of Thunder now. They both have DRS. Thunder will have the inside
Thunder
line.
has the inside line, and he gets the pass, and he keeps the position there. And Tim's
as
getting
Antelopen once
closer.
again looking at the back of Oriole, is going to go to the
Will
inside
he go down
line
the
this time,
inside again?
and he's made it
He gets
work.
the pass. Will Oriole get the switch? No, he doesn't, and he keeps it. So now Antelopen and Oriole, Antelopen in third, Oriole in fourth. These two drivers battling for that final position on the podium, and another exciting
defensive
race.
on Holland Campion into the final sector, into the final two
He's
corners.
managed to keep a nice line here as he goes down, and he's going to have to defend here, and he runs
he's
wide.
gone wide.
He ran a little bit
Set
wide.
up Campion into turn one.
Campion's got
Can he get
DRS.
to the inside?
I don't think he'll have the line here. He will have that DRS to help him get as close as he can. As they
Renati
go
goes
up
wide
this
again.
straight here. Let's have a look here as Colin Campion is right now down the throat of the Williams. Can he make the pass?
We've got the yellow flag in sector
a
one,
yellow
and McLaren
flag in
is
sector
round.
one. It's a McLaren and it's Bates.
But right now, as Natty's lost it, he has a half spin.
A half spin. He managed to counter it quite nicely though, and he's still up and Antelope got past Oriole. It's Oriole trying to take him, and Oriole's going to try now go back down the inside again of Antelope. These two drivers having an amazing race here, clean racing between these two. These two certainly up for driver of the day here.
But look who's closing down in the background. It's Tim as the Williams looks down the inside of the Alpha
I also
again.
thought about they were clean racing. Antelope into the wing of Oriole, and I was on about clean racing there, but they do make the slightest of touches there. And Tim now trying to make the most of this wheel-to-wheel racing here between these two drivers. He is now in DRS range between them both.
At it again.
Ellison picks up a 3-second time penalty, but all the action here is mainly at the top. Bates into the pits. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here while this battling's going on here. As Tim is getting ever so closer to the Williams. I don't think he'll get. No, he's going to go for it.
He's going to go down the inside. He's gone for it. What a dive by the Academy champion. But can he keep it? Antelope's back on the traction. He's pushed him onto the grass.
Dennis, be careful there between the two of them. Let's see here.
That was marginal stuff there by Antelope.
Do you know where to send in any incidents for the race?
Yes, so Joe, if you go into the Discord server and type ! Claim for the claim command, you'll be given access to the claims chat where you can post your video and the reason for your claim. But the advice is just think over it for a while, and just to make sure there is a claim here, because obviously it can have quite a significant impact on the Drivers' Championship. So yeah, that's how you report stuff for the drivers. As the two away from that, the two leaders now separated by 0.5 of a second. Holland Campion is all over ex-Natty. Whilst this has been happening, we are nearly at the pit stop window for the medium tyres. As Lord Jedi's got past Thunder, and was that team orders there? The Thunder letting his teammate through for the championship? It could be.
Possibly, yes. And we'll have to see. Is Lord Jedi showing probably more pace than Thunder actually, and these drivers I imagine now will be coming in for pit stops very soon, as they have actually done 12 laps here.
As Tim's gone
Oriole
for
and Tim's
lunge on the inside of
battling.
Oriole, and they're going side by
he's got
side.
the inside line, and he's got
on
the
grass.
pass. Oh no, and he gets the pass done, but Oriole's right up behind him here.
As Natty had a big slide on the exit of 7 there, a very big slide. As now coming around to the end of lap 13, will Holland Campion go for the undercut here? He doesn't. He stays out with Natty. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Not too sure why. It's Oriole pits. Oriole pits.
Dirty Larry has left, so Oriole is coming to the pits. The first driver out of all of the top 10, apart from the bottom 2, who I don't believe are. I believe AB Tech is still in the race, but I know Pepelec isn't.
As Oriole has gone for the
Oriole
medium
and Barty
tyre,
actually both coming into the pits.
And he's gone for the undercut strategy as ex-Natty and Holland Campion very close together. As neither of them have the DRS, I don't think. As
X-Natty now has the DRS and he keeps the position. Barty coming out actually onto another set of soft tyres. So potentially going for a 2-stop for the McLaren driver there. Both McLarens outside of the points at the moment. we'll have to see how see if they can get back into the points. Bates actually on a different strategy. Bates on a set of hard tires.
It's Thunder. Thunder's off. He's way off in the gravel.
He's managed to recover the car, actually. He's managed to get the car back on the track out of the gravel. So X90
pits
are the first out of the leaders to come into the pits now. He's kept the speed nice and low. He doesn't pick up a penalty. And Tim also into the pits in the Ferrari. So 2 drivers into the pits at the moment. Let's see if anyone else follows in suit. Let's see.
So Holland Campion has to respond to this now. He does not have a choice. He must come into the pits for a new set of tyres or he will lose a lot of time to Xnati. The overcut here is probably not the strategy you want to be going for, as Antelopen had no choice but to stay out. He and his teammate can't pit on the same lap, obviously. As now out of the pits, Tim has been jumped by Oriol. They're going to be side by side up through the kink of turn 2 into turn 3. Tim's going to be on the inside though, and he's going to make the move into turn 3. He has made the move. Nice dive there by the Academy champion. As now Oriol comes back at him though. He's got the DRS. Can he get to the inside line before Tim covers it off? And he switches to the outside line there. Sells Tim a dummy. He's gone for the outside line, and no, he can't make anything of it. Unfortunately there for the Alfa Romeo driver. As now it will be interesting to see where Holland Campion will come out. He is in the pits, as Holland Campion is now in the pits.
Knows a bit. Antelopian takes a 3-second time penalty.
As he is also
coming
in the pits.
Ellison into the pits. Holland Campion into the pits as well. Onto a set of mediums. So I believe that is that only a 1-stop here, Tucson?
That will be a 1-stop, yes, but it will be how far behind Natty does he come out? As Natty now coming through the first corner, he's going to come out ahead of Campion.
And he's out ahead of Campion by quite a big gap, actually. I think it's a 1.5, 1.6 seconds. 1.7 now, the gap's increasing.
And that is why Holland Campion needs to look for the undercut there on Xnati, as Xnati there has performed a very smart strategical decision there.
Lord Jedi in the lead at the moment, but I don't think he will be for very much longer. 15 laps on those soft tyres. But we'll have to see. Assuming he'll be coming into the pits maybe this lap. We'll have to see.
It should be this lap, although he has got front right end plate damage, so he might repair that when he comes into the pits.
He might potentially, yeah. We'll have to see. And Biggs and Larry both having a battle here. Dirty Larry 13 laps on those hard tyres. Drivers have to be careful as well here, actually, because the tyre that they qualified on, they would have had to start the race on, and with the race restart, there potentially could have maybe been a bit of a mix-up. I didn't quite catch who started on which tyre, but it'd be interesting to see if everyone started on the correct tyre.
The top 10 will start on the tyres that they qualified on, but obviously with the race restart, and that's not doing redoing qualifying, it means that they have effectively had a completely fresh set of the soft tyres to work with in the first stint of this race. And now Holland Campion needs to look at getting that gap to Xnati closed down.
Barty, someone's gone off. It's Brambo. There was Barty, Dirty Larry, and Brambo all having a battle there, and Brambo got the worst of it. And these drivers seriously need to be clean in this race. I will definitely be putting out a lot of stuff here. Check out the social media, Twitter, Instagram if you haven't seen it. And I will be putting out a few stuff this weekend, because we are free on a weekend, so I will be putting out a few stuff, just putting out a few disclaimers, a few warnings and stuff, because there's a couple of stuff I've seen this week which I'm not happy about. So,
as Dirty Larry has just disconnected from the session, unfortunate for him. As
he was in the points as well.
Yes, as it looks like we've got to a bit of a calm period in the race now.
We can have a breather.
Who has lost out after the first round of pit stops there, currently on the hard tyres, and losing time, it looks like, to Oriol. But with that strategy may come back to repay him at the end here, when the medium tyres will be more worn out than his hards. But that's an interesting strategic call there from the Williams driver. They're splitting the strategies down there at the Williams team then.
We'll have to see. And Cryptech right up behind Brambo here, so there's still a little bit of a battle going on here at the back to try and get into those points here.
Yes, and Cryptech will have the DRS now coming up towards turns 2 and 3. Can he make a dive down the inside? No, he can't.
Oh, Dirty Larry joins back actually.
Again.
Dirty Larry does
and
join
Dirty
back,
Larry's
so
back in the session.
Potentially we're going for maybe a points finish here. We'll have to see whether he can.
Cryptek has the DRS available, but he's not using it. He uses it and he pops it open now, but it's a bit too late there. As X-Natty out in front has now got a 3.1 second lead to Holland Campion. As he's stretching the legs of that Williams in the first part of this stint, it looks like. As Tim now is sort of failing to make an impression on the Red Bull in front of him. The gap still stands at 2.6 seconds at the moment, as Antilopen is starting to close the gap to Oriole as well, as the closest battle we have on track at the moment is Brambo
and Cryptek.
And Dirty Larry as well.
And Dirty Larry, who's running really slow here. I think he hasn't managed to join back yet. I don't think he's in his car, because his car is running very slowly. He needs to be careful here, because
as Brambo's lost it, he's
tried
gone
to
for a
take
move
it
around the outside.
Brambo tried to take it round the outside, and he just collided there with Dirty Larry, and he's gone off the track there, and is all the way down into 13th position after spinning out twice on that first corner, both with 2 collisions between drivers and overtakes.
And that is hugely unfortunate there for Brambo, as he seemed to lose the rear at the top of turn 1 there. As I'm just trying to look through the grid now to see the grid now to see where Lord Jedi on Ellison.
It's close on Ellison, and Ellison starting towards the back of the grid has now moving his way up in the points at the moment in 6th place. It'd be the first points for the Renault team. I think he's the only Renault driver at the moment.
As Lord Jedi's looking for it down the inside.
Lord Jedi was looking for it. They've got the slow car of Pepperleck in front of them. So hopefully that car will just move out the way and allow these 2 drivers to come fly through. As Lord Jedi's going to go for a diving bomb down the inside. Will he get the move done? And he does very nicely. And takes Ellison down the inside.
X-Natty's disconnected!
He's disconnected again!
Oh, no.
And I can imagine the rage and fury in that man right now.
And now how much will Holland Campion catch up? How much will Campion catch up?
If X-Natty is in the
chat... He's back.
If X-Natty is in the chat, which I sometimes know he is, turn off the Wi-Fi on your phone or laptop or whatever you've got PC, and just have the PlayStation on Wi-Fi. It's a very good option for you if you're having internet troubles.
As that brief disconnect there has cost him 1.5 seconds to Campion now. He's got to work hard to get that gap. Well, he doesn't have to open the gap just too much. I don't know if he's joined
back yet. I'm not sure whether he has or not. We'll have to see.
I believe he has, but he might not be in control of his car yet. As Holland Campion, the gap now down to 1.7 seconds.
I don't think he's in control of his car. So we could see a first place position change due to a disconnection here. Let's have a look.
That will be hugely.
And someone here who surprised us all. Tim up into the podium position here. The Academy League champion is showing some really good pace this race. He's moved up a full 8 positions. So he could potentially be driver of the day here if people vote for him. Ellison as well, another driver here. A full 9 places. So there's some stats for you guys. Make sure you, at the end of this race, get your votes coming in for driver of the day.
Oh, as X-Natty now is having some major lagging problems now. I believe he has got back into control of his car, because the gap is opening up again, as the top 3 are still very close to each other. At the moment, the top 3 drivers covered by about 3.6 seconds there, as Tim is now starting to close the gap to Holland Campion, just over a second at the moment. If he keeps going at this rate, he will be in the DRS soon. As Thunder now is looking at the back of Dirty Larry, I believe, as they come down into the final sector now. The 2 high-speed right-handers, he's going to look to the inside, and under braking, he's got the move done.
He got the move done. A very nice move there from Thunder. You have to span out onto the gravel, and has managed to move his way back up into 12th position. Going to try and get back into the points here. And Piero's just telling everyone in the chat how you can go and get back into your car if you do lag out. Yes, GSI has already put in his driver of the day. He says, Lord Jedi, no question, suffered from a big crash after the restart and is now putting in the work to get back to the top. Yes, he could be driver of the day here. That incident for me in the formation lap does drop him down for me, but I'm not sure whether that was purposeful or not.
Now Tim has got DRS on Holland Campion. The gap is down to less than half a second, and Honda coming up into turn 3. Can Tim make a move down the inside? He's going to look to the inside. Is it going to be reverse Leclerc and Verstappen? And he's got the move done.
Pass.
Very nice move. The Campion will be able to come back at him now with DRS down towards
there's a bit of lag. There's a bit of lag, which isn't great.
Going to the outside.
Campion
Can he get him on the braking?
Oh, he's going to go on the outside. He needs to leave enough room.
Wheel to wheel.
Oh, there was a bit of contact, I believe. There's some lag going on, but Campion gets the move and gets the position back. And the funny thing about that, actually, is I believe if anyone's been watching the virtual GP over on the F1 broadcasting, I think it is. There was a crash between it was Alex Albon and Leclerc on the same corner that Verstappen did to Leclerc, so it's a very funny moment, actually.
As now Tim's looking down the inside into turn 1. He's got the DRS. He'll have to he swerves to the inside and moving under braking there. That was not really on from Tim, as now they're going to make their way down the back straight as Campion has the DRS.
He's got DRS. He's going to try and go at the back, and he's going to try and go around the outside, and there's going to lag once again. Will he get the move done? And he does very nicely. He does. I mean, he keeps the position. Sorry, but yes, but Tim keeps the position. But Campion will have DRS. Yes.
As these two are going at it hammer and tongs at the moment, as Antelope and Oriole, the old rivals who have been battling this whole race, are going wheel to wheel once again, as Oriole gets the move on Antelope.
I think they have a consumed time penalties between them.
And Tim and Campion are going side by side now, coming up to the final sector.
Campion got the move.
Tim is tucked right under the rear wing of a Red Bull. He's going to move to the inside for turn 8. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can.
He got it done.
He's got the inside. But Holland Campion were able to come at him again with the DRS now, depending who was heading to the DRS zone. It was Campion. Tim will need to protect the inside line here, unless Campion's going to go for a dive bomb. He isn't, but he will have a DRS once again when they get to the back straight here from turns 1 up till 3, as this has allowed X90 to get that 4-second gap once again, as now Campion is coming at Tim. Can he make a move down the inside? No, he can't. He has one more chance of a DRS now still, as coming out of turn 3 back on the power, as Campion is now going to try and look to the inside. As he know he isn't. He's a bit
Oriole
too far
got around
back.
Antelope, and these two again, once again, the rivals of this race, both got undertaken and overtaken each other again and again. Well, Antelope looking for the outside line. Oh, but no, Oriole's going to have the inside line wheel to wheel, and actually Antelope gets the job done. Very nice pass there around the outside of Oriole on that long corner there.
As Oriole, I believe, had just a snap of oversteer there. He caught it very nicely and kept the car there. But yeah, some tetchy stuff there for Oriole there. As Holland Campion is still within touching distance of Tim. Tim is beginning to pull away though now, however, and he's going to try and chase down Natty for the lead of this race, which will be much needed for him in his championship campaign. As right now, the damage limitation from Lord Jedi to his championship lead at the moment, as sorry, not his championship lead, it's to his rival, even if Lord Jedi and Campion are on the same points. As now got Oriole looking, he's looking at Antelope in there, as they're coming through turn 3, he'll be on the DRS again. As Antelope is going to go defensive, he's not going to leave Oriole a choice but to go to the outside. I would have thought.
No,
and Oriole doesn't go for it.
He doesn't go for the move, so there wasn't a clear overtaking position there for the two drivers. And Holland Campion and Tim right up behind each other again here for that second spot position here. And we've got a few people coming in saying Demetrius said X90 or Ellison for driver of the day. Piero says Tim could potentially be his driver of the day, so we'll have to see how it fares out at the end of this race.
As Yes, as now I believe Tim is beginning to gap Holland Campion as the
It's
main
up to a
battle on
second
track
now.
right now.
Holland Campion, he's got DRS, but in the next straight, if Tim can keep this gap, we'll be just out of DRS.
Oriol's all over Antelope here on the back straight down from turns 1 to 3.
Oh,
as Oriol's going to look to the outside.
He's gone to the outside, he gets the pass done.
Behind.
He got the pass done. Antelope knew that he couldn't get the pass stop back down the inside and just moved behind him, and is going to try and get the DRS back down on this straight now, as they've overtaken so many times in this race over the many laps here. And Antelope goes down the inside and gets the pass done, but Oriol looked for the cutback because Antelope won wide, and Oriol got the pass back up into 4th position here. So Antelope now all over the back of Oriol, but look who's coming into play here just in the distance, Tucson. Lord Jedi, the man who had a very angry and frustrated start to this race, has moved himself all the way up into 6th position here and is climbing even higher.
And I'm sure he'll be targeting that 4th place that Oriol currently sits in. And I've just seen in the chat, GSI has asked for an update on the penalties. At the moment, for the top 3, the only person who has penalties is Tim. Currently, we're sitting on 2 penalties. Both Ex-Natty and Holland Campion have no penalties at the moment. They'll be looking to keep that record up as Antelopen is looking at the back of Oriol again. I can hardly believe they're still doing this. He darts to the outside. He's going to have it around the outside. He protects the inside now.
Done. Another brilliant pass, and these 2 drivers one-on-one against each other.
Oriol's going to have him again. Oriol's back down the inside.
Have him again. It's giving me a really poor camera angle, but we'll have to see the pass anyway. And he's going to get the pass done.
Oriol goes down the inside.
He got the pass done.
And he's gonna, and Lord Jedi now is definitely within touching distance of these 2. He's gonna have DRS on them both. He'll be looking to try and get these moves done quickly, as he's got less than 10 laps left in this race. Can he catch Holland Campion and get on the podium?
Oh, they almost touched. It's very clean between these 2 drivers. The cleanest race that I've seen this whole race, and I agree, yes, in the chat, Piero, I don't know how many laps they've done on overtaking, but it is really nice to watch here, and we are getting plenty of action here once again. Even though we had a bit of a rough start to this race and a rough start to last race, we have still come out with some exciting races. Antelope's gone for it again, and look who's right behind them.
Oh, they've crashed!
No, they've crashed! And Oriol is onto the grass, and Oriol's into the wall! And after all of that, the battling is finished. But it was clean all the way through. And Lord Jedi passed Antelopen and is going to try and find an 8-second gap from somewhere to try and get past Holland Campion for a podium position and to potentially take championship lead, maybe, if there's no one else close to him, like Tim or Ex-Natty or anyone else down the leaderboard who could get up into 1st position, potentially. I'm not sure how the point system would work.
At the moment, Lord Jedi would only lose out, I believe, 3 points to Holland Campion in the championship, provided he can keep this 4th place. He's currently got an 8-second gap, though, to as Tim puts up another 3-second time penalty. But that might drop him behind Holland Campion, actually. And let me have a look at Lord Jedi's penalties for a second here, to see if he could jump Tim, potentially, as Lord Jedi has no penalties. So at the moment, as it stands, I believe Tim has got 3 penalties, which will drop him 9 seconds, which will put him in between Lord Jedi and Holland Campion at the moment, which means that Lord Jedi has to push now as Antelope goes down the inside, but there wasn't room there.
Grass. There wasn't room for him as he's pushed onto the grass, and he now falls back behind Lord Jedi. Will not be within DRS range to try and catch him, as he will have it here, but the gap moving up there to 1.6 seconds, and Oriol's into the pits after his wing damage, and that is unfortunate here for him. And I agree, yes, in the chat, that was a kind of a commentator's curse, but there was nothing I could do about it. It was clean racing throughout the whole of this race between the 2 drivers, and it was very, very entertaining to watch.
As Holland Campion is caught back up to the back of Tim now in the battle for 2nd. They're still 5 seconds behind Ex-Natty, the man in the lead of this race. He leads his 1st race in his Gavra Racing career after about 27 starts here, as Tim and Holland Campion are going at it. As now Holland Campion is going to have the DRS. He will get past Tim on penalties at the moment, but he wants to get it done on track, as there's a back marker of, I believe that's Dirty Larry in the background, as Campion is very close to Tim here, up
He
into
won't get the
turn
pass
3.
though. He's not close enough to get the pass down the inside, and Tim keeps his position at the moment, but Campion will not have DRS as he's going to go down towards this sharp corner, the sharp right-hander. Will he get the pass done? Tim protects his inside line and he keeps it. Potential cutback there? No, he almost got very close there to the back of Tim.
He did. He almost had the switch back. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I believe that was just
I'm not
some
sure who that was. I think that was just some traffic there. Drivers do need to move out of the way if they are being lapped. But a very interesting turn of events throughout this whole of this race. And the restart
Tim
really
is
mixing things
defensive
up.
into turn 8. Tim is defensive.
Again.
And Holland Campion couldn't make anything of it, but now they're coming down into the 3 DRS zones of this track as Holland Campion is on the DRS once again. There's a back marker looking down the inside there of the
trying
leaders.
to unlap himself.
He has to be careful he doesn't take them out. As
We
now Holland Campion's going to have
off-on
the DRS
situation
once again. Yes, exactly. As Campion's going to have the DRS once again, but I don't believe he's close enough to have a go. Or is he?
No, he isn't close enough. The gap too small to make a pass around Tim, but Tim defending very nicely here for his position here in second position. And someone is gaining ever so closer and closer in the laps. Lord Jedi trying to get closer to this battle, but is still quite far behind here. And Dirty Larry needs to be careful in getting involved in this battle here for the second and third place drivers here.
Yes, that is definitely true, as he doesn't want to be responsible for potentially ruining the race of one of these drivers. For one of the leaders, as Holland Campion now less than 2 tenths behind Tim once again, as these two are now going at it in the latter stage of this race. We've got 4 laps remaining, including this one. The back markers are getting involved in this scrap a little bit too much, as Ted has gone down the inside of Dirty Larry.
There's a battle going on at the back.
Oh, as Campion's gone past Tim.
Campion's gone past Tim. He has done. He's got the pass down the inside, but there's back markers getting involved as well. You really need to be careful here. And Tim being pushed around, and Tim's going to go down the inside. Can he get the pass done? He's very close between the two drivers. But he is going to get the pass, and Larry go around the outside of Tim, mixing up the play here. I'm not too sure whether this is allowed, and Tim has got the pass on Campion here, and Tim is now back up into second position.
As I don't believe that Dirty Larry is in control of that car at the moment. As yeah, that was a bit tetchy there from the back markers. Like I said, he doesn't want to get too involved with this. As now these two are going at it in the last stage of this race. 4 laps to go, including this one, as they come down into turn 8. Campion's still all over the back
taking
of
Thunder.
Tim.
I think Thunder and Barty here, and Oriole are all having a battle here. It's Barty's all over the back of Oriole here. Both drivers have DRS. Will he get the move done? No, he doesn't. Oriole just too quick for him into that corner. Holland Campion picks up a 3-second time penalty here. So if Tim can keep this position here, Tucson, Tim may have that second position. We'll have to see. I'm not sure if there's any other penalties involved.
I believe Tim's current penalties will give Lord Jedi a podium finish. As Campion's going to look to the outside now again. He's got the outside line under braking. Can he get the move done? Yes, he can. He's up into second place now. Tim will be looking to stay with him through the final sectors here. As now we come round towards the end of the 34th lap.
And a battle going on between these two, and there is only two laps remaining in this race, and we will see who gets podium after the time penalties that have been given. And
Tim is going to look. He's on the grass, and he's going side by side with his fellow compatriot into turn 8.
On the outside, and he gets the move
done. He's got the move.
He got the move done.
Will he have to give that back?
I'm not sure, because he did run onto the grass, but on my screen Campion was running a little bit slow there, but I'm not sure whether it was on yours. It looked like it from the angle of the camera. Campion's got damage. Campion's got damage front right end plate.
Oh, he's looking to the inside. That's
He's
a
looking for
stop
an
him. He looks
outside
to the
line.
inside.
Inside line, sorry. Will he get the pass done? And he does it.
No, but Tim gets the cut back.
I cannot
And he's taking the position back.
This racing is unbelievable. It's very clean. And it is very, very intense. Now, lap 35 out of 36. We will see what happens. X-Natty, a phenomenal race here.
He's currently 8.5 seconds clear the rest of the field. But what we have to look at is Lord Jedi. Lord Jedi now with no penalties, and Antelope catching the back of these two. He's closed the gap by 3 seconds in the last 2 laps. If he does that again, he could be in second place here, and that would be a remarkable comeback for the Racing Point driver.
It would be a remarkable comeback.
As X-Natty now starts the final lap of this race, as his back markers fighting behind him, as now onto the final lap. Here we go. This is where winner takes all here, as Tim is looking to the inside of Holland Campion. He's going to make a move. He decides not to. Now they come up in towards turns 2 and 3.
Both drivers very close to each other. Make sure you get your drivers of the day in.
Now Tim's going to go down the inside.
He's going for a move.
Can he make it happen?
And he's
gone for it.
He's gone very much wide.
He's gone very wide. Holland Campion's going to take it.
I think Holland Campion will take it.
And Tim is getting hit by one of the back markers.
His back marker's been hit, and that is unfortunate for Tim. And I think that is the end of that battle. There on the screen right now, there are the position changes for your drivers of the day. But what an instant we've had here is the back markers getting involved with the battle between Campion and Tim.
As now I've got my camera back up on X-Natty here, the man who has had 26 starts in Gavra Racing without a win, without a podium. He's going to round the final corner now. He's got a 9.5 second lead. Natty wins the Austrian Grand Prix.
Wins the Austrian Grand Prix
as
after
Holland
all of his
Campion will
internet
come
issues.
across the line for second.
Or
will it be second?
Tim gets third. Lord Jedi gets third. After all the penalties, Lord Jedi, what a race from him. He gets the third position, but there has been collisions all over the place. Him and Pepperleg have a little bit of a bump in the formation lap. That will be looked at. All of the incidents here will be looked at on Gavra Racing, and Gavra will look at all of them, and he will make decisions on the restart, and they will be given out fairly if and where needed to be. But what a race we have had
for
here.
Him will finish 8th. And yes, what a race. Well, I completely agree with those sentiments, Tiger. What a race that was. Wow.
Brilliant race here. And, get your drivers of the day, guys, and we will put them in. And yes, Tucson had been waiting for Natty to win for so long. And look at his your reaction was insane. You screamed. And next Natty wins. He wins his first ever win. Did you say, in Gavra Racing? After all of his internet troubles, I think he disconnected 3 times in that race. Got back in, won the race. Oriole doesn't seem too impressed and has already left. After he had a battle there with Antelopian, that battle was insane as well throughout the whole of that race.
Enjoy that champagne, guys. That was an epic race. You deserve it.
Some people saying it was the race was unfair and stuff like that. It will be looked at. And they will be looked at between all of the drivers. The restart was really, really unfortunate, but it will be looked at totally, and we will give the results of that in next week's race. But let's just see who's putting in. Get your drivers and
looking in
guys.
the chat, as we've got a vote for Lord Jedi from GSI. I believe that stayed the same. As X-Natty's in the chat saying yes, so congratulations to him. He finally got his first win in Gavra Racing. As what a race that was. We had safety car glitches, a restart, and these drivers have done a phenomenal job the entire season so far. Let's hope for 5 more races of this, because this has been utterly incredible, and my jaw is very sore at the moment.
There has been a lot of speaking in this, but thank you everyone for joining us, and that is the race completed. 2 races there for you, so you even had a bit of a time trial in the middle of that from me. But thank you everyone for joining us. I believe the driver of the day, here, is going to go to Lord Jedi in this race.
Yes.
But congratulations to X-Natty, who had a phenomenal race as well. Quite a few of these drivers, phenomenal race. And Tim, another man who had a phenomenal race there as well. The Gavra Racing Academy League champion. Thank you everyone for watching. We will update you on all of the penalties and position changes here in Gavra Racing. And we will see everyone next week.
Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you for joining. Check out social media. Support the Patreon. Support Gavra Racing. I'll be posting some stuff over there about championship tables. We'll be doing some other stuff over there as well, so keep an eye on that. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Dimitris. Always a bit to do our commentary and a bit of racing as well, apparently.
Oh yeah, we got a quick time trial out there from Tiger. It's quite interesting to see. So thank you to I believe that's one shoot. We do our best around here to give you guys the all the action that we can. Thank you also from Piero, and we'll see you next week, guys.
See you next week, guys. Thank you very much for joining us.